So thank you very much, Macri, for the opportunity to come and listen to you. I'm very humbled and honored to be able to have that opportunity. And I look forward to long-term and improving long-term relations with our First Nations community to engage and bring better knowledge to the university and also facilitate and help your voice in getting out there with regard to water rights. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background on who I am and why I'm here. I grew up in Northern Ontario, in the bush, hunting and fishing almost every day from the time I was 7 years old till I left Northern Ontario. I'm an academic. I'm a fish biologist. My job is a fisheries toxicologist. I look at the toxins in the environment, how we can treat them, how they affect, how we regulate, how we can improve our water. That's my role, and that's how I've been working for the last 25 years. And so that's my passion and involvement. I really am passionate about water. I'm passionate about fish, and that's how I see my role in life. More recently, I was asked to take on a fairly controversial role as a director of the Water Initiative for the University of Alberta. And Macri has asked me to take an opportunity to explain to you what it is, why we are there, and what our role is. The Water Initiative is an organization that really is dedicated to improving and expanding our water research capacity, working with stakeholder groups, working with groups to ensure and expand and for the betterment of water in all areas. We've had very fruitful early discussions yesterday. I've been a strong supporter of Macri and her work, and I work fairly hard to try and ensure and expand that particular program. But at the University of Alberta, you may or may not know that there is absolutely tremendous capacity in water research. And we need to work with groups and learn from you how we can make our research better, how we can apply it for the better good. We have tremendous strengths in ecosystem health. I think most people are aware of Dr. Dave Schindler and his work, but that legacy is continuing. We have almost 45 researchers specifically looking at ecosystem health, wetlands, river systems. And water, of course, is one of those things that connects us. Whether we live 1,000 miles away, there's a river that goes from place to place. Right? So we have that wholeness that comes from rivers. When you drink fresh water that's clean, you know it. It purifies and it enthralls you. When you know that there's contamination, you definitely are not enthralled by it. Your body immediately can tell. And so what we need to do is better ourselves as a community. We need to better ourselves to make sure that we protect and clean. Canada is fortunate and unfortunate at the same time. We have a lot of the fresh water. Between Canada and Brazil, almost 40% of the world's fresh water that's not locked up in ice is in those two countries alone. And yet we misbehave. We don't treat it with the respect as much as we should. We have an unequal distribution. People in the south of this province alone have severe water shortages during many times of the year, and other people have excess in water. So the solutions that are going to occur for some of the groups and watersheds in different areas of the province have to be manufactured and listened to from all the different areas. In particular, we had a very excellent discussion yesterday because we want to improve what we call, or I like to call, and I credit Tom Axworthy at the Duncan and Gordon Foundation, Canada's Amazon, which is the Mackenzie River Delta. And all the water that flows from here to the ocean in the Arctic is connected. You live here in Edmonton, you're performing and doing things that are needed. If in the Athabasca River, you're doing things that are going to impact you, whether you're all the way up to Inuvik. So we have to treat that as a holistic manner. The university has this tremendous capacity, yet we don't work particularly well together. We don't have any strategic plan, and we tend to just have this idea of independent entrepreneurship, and we need to do better. We need to bring together our strengths in ecosystem health, engineering, proper governance, wetlands policy. We have tremendous wetland researchers, and public health as well. And we can do this, and we can improve everything. If we look across this campus, essentially every faculty has somebody working in water. Nothing ties us together in an academic sense more than water. And so my job, and it's a very difficult job, is to try and provide some of that. And so my job is really to take some of that energy that exists and that opportunity that exists and bring it together for betterment of water. So we want to work with partners, and a variety of different partners, in public, private, not-for-profit, locally and internationally. So my job is more of as a strategic organizer to facilitate and grow for the betterment of water treatment, water use. So what kind of things do we do? We, being the Water Initiative, we connect our researchers, right, to perform and get timely, impactful, meaningful solutions for now, but we also have to consider the future. What's going to hold for us in 30 or 50 years when our glaciers are reduced and we have lower water flows? We better prepare, right? We have to prepare for what's happening. We can obviously do our best and try to and fight for reducing our carbon emissions to try and reduce the effects of climate change, but we still have to prepare. We want to work with organizations, right, to allow us to apply that research outwards into meaningful and knowledgeable solutions. So we want to be able to apply our knowledge, because research should be for the better good. That is my viewpoint, and I think everybody believes the reason we do research is to improve our lives at one level or another. And so we need to be able to engage with communities like yourselves to learn, and that will help us formulate our research in a more impactful manner. So my job here today is to listen to you and learn how we can do better to facilitate and help you. We also, the university's mission is research, but it's also education. And education lifts us up. So education, we need to educate our water professionals, our decision makers, our communities, right, in some sort of training program to be able to improve and enhance that. And we would like to be able to offer scholarships for students so we can perform independent work with a voice that is independent. We have a strong program on climate change and preparing for and fighting climate change, and fighting for reduction in climate change goals. We want to have education and policy development for sustainable agriculture and global food security. As we say, water is everywhere, but poorly distributed. There's lots of water, that's what people think, but in fact, there's very little in a reality. Resource extraction is an obvious lightning rod and problem that I think many people recognize. They have to do a much better job, right? We have to reduce how much we use. We have to have it used better. We have to manage it better. We have to clean up what we've already done and get rid of those things like tailing ponds. We have to feel, it doesn't make sense how they can have a policy where they say you can't have release, but you can't have a tailings pond at the same time by 2020. You need And it's not just going to disappear by itself. We need to figure out ways to clean that up. That's a responsibility that's required. We have to monitor and detection and give that improve. We have to reclaim wetlands and bring them back to health. Right? We have to stop the destruction of wetlands. We also have a very, very large program, and this is what we were discussing yesterday, in that what we look at is management, treatment, and monitoring solutions for rural, remote, and First Nation communities. They all have independent and unique goals, objectives, and requirements, but many of these are the same. Low-cost solutions so that we don't end up taking that traditional knowledge and applying it into those solutions. We work very heavily in a program that was just announced where we work with a number of communities in the far north, in Alberta, and also in India to look for innovative and low-cost solutions that can be applied to improve and better that. So somebody, you were mentioning that you might have, somebody who has an innovative solution, come talk to us, right? Maybe we can find a researcher that can help work with that to demonstrate it. Right? These are opportunities that are possible when we work together. Everybody has a knowledge, it's respected, and we need to move forward. So I'm not going to belabor for a long time what the Water Initiative does. Just wanted to say that we are an organization that supports research because I believe that research is what will enlighten us all. We need to rely on quality, independent, innovative research to be able to, and the uniqueness of thought to be able to have a respectful discussion that brings together and resolves and comes together for a solution for us all. And that's essentially what the Water Initiative, that's my goal for the Water Initiative, and that's how I am directing it.